Okay, I am filming this with the air conditioning still running because it is... I have to show you this. That is what my thermometer says right now. Now, obviously, it's not 130. But I've been sitting in the sun, so I don't know. That's funny though. Well, it's not funny. Okay. Anyway, I need to get out of this hot car and go get in that store and see what I can find. Let's go. Okay, we are hitting the shelves of goodies, and right in the door I spot this cute little, it's like a nursery clock planter, and I can't figure out what those holes are for on top. It's kind of puzzling, but it was super cute. So upon further research, I have discovered this is by Napco, and it is a nursery clock, and it is a music box. Now, I always sort by highest first. I want to see the highest that sold, not the lowest. And kind of coming down. And okay, so we're looking good on the actives. But ran into a little trouble when we go over to the solds, as you will see in just a moment. Now, they do have watchers, which is really compelling. So there was 11 watchers, 12 watchers at those prices, but there's no solds. There's just no solds. So, and without the music box part, I think I'm pretty doomed to get a good price for this. I'm searching to see if possibly now when I put in the actual Napco, but still nothing, still nothing. And I'm just going through all of this to show you kind of the thought process behind how to list something. I normally don't do all this. I pretty much just make a decision based on what is active and what is sold. But I did pull up this listing to show you that there's a music box that goes on there. I did want to show you the Terapeak built-in research that eBay has. So I go over there and I put in Napco Nursery Clock Planter, which is what this item is. And now I'm going to change it from this 30 days to 365 days. So I'm going to see if any of these have sold in the last year. And I come down here and there have been a couple of them that have sold with an average price of $8.50, which they basically just take the selling prices and average it, which isn't always the most effective way for you to determine your pricing. But you can see $10 is the max. So I did buy this piece, but I'll probably take it down to the booth. I spotted this piece which reminded me of a Jack Black Pottery sculpture. It had that same look, the same lines, and I'll show you what I mean. This is a really, really good designer to be looking for, not designer, artist to be looking for. He is a Navajo artist, and I'm just gonna kind of sort these down and show you these. Now obviously these are active listings, but even if you go over and look at the solds, you can see there's some pretty good prices still being had for these items. So you want to look for those simple, abstract, kind of not very detailed lines, and the colors are almost always this turquoise and the sand tones. And I'm going to pull one up and show you, they are signed pieces. I've never seen one not signed, which is why I didn't think the one that I found was. So they are signed, and impressed into the clay. So that's how you know you have an authentic Jack Black pottery piece. Say that 10 times fast. I also spot this candy dish, which this is flashed color. This is not the color of the glass. And this normally comes with a lid. It's an anchor hawking piece, and it can do okay if you have the lid, but wasn't going to take a chance without it. I was contemplating buying this for my daughter to paint. Don't tell her. I didn't get it. Spot this little lady, and her face is done quite nicely, but she's not like a brand name or anything. She looks more like a hobbyist piece, but somebody actually really knew what they were doing. Okay, I love weird stuff. A cat with marble eyes? Are you kidding me? Now I know those are vintage marbles, and I wasn't quite sure if this was done like later in its life, but come to find out, I did a search for cat marble eyes, and I kind of scroll down. I'm in the collectibles category because searching all categories came up with a monstrous amount of results because a lot of marbles were included in there, like cat's eyes marbles. So that is why I narrowed it down to just the collectibles category, which is where I expected something like this to be, and you can see much more manageable results. And sure enough, as I scroll down, what do I find? Aha! They're by Inarco, Japan. They're calling them hanging lanterns, but now I know what I have, so now I can fine-tune my search result and come up with just those things that are relevant to what I am looking to research. And there we go, and there's some singles right there. So one sold for $18.99. I'm okay with that. You know me, I'm looking for my $20 bill. So I can list this at $24.99 and not be too far out of the price range to actually get the $19.99. And then I spot this little French Bulldog guy, and I'm always telling you guys, breed sells. So this is a French Bulldog. It is a nice sized figurine, and that definitely should bring 20 bucks. And then I spot this piece, which I will show you is actually a Fitz and Floyd piece, and it would have been a very nice item. You can see original price was 30 bucks. This is actually part of a canister set that sells for big money, so you can definitely get 20 to 30 for a single canister. Unfortunately, that one was pretty broken. I was hoping these were not resin, but they were. They were very light resin. Something over there I wanted to see. There was a lady in my way, so I bypassed her just a little bit to go look at this other horse, which I definitely would have bought had he not been broken and glued back together. Seems to be a lot of that going on at the thrift stores. I'm really working at not making you guys dizzy. This little bird was priced at $3.99, but its original was only $6.99, so that's not too much of a bargain. I spotted this big turkey platter, and I thought at first it was by a company called Arthur Court, because if it had been Arthur Court, as you can see, it would have been some really good money. And now what I have found is there's Lenox and Gorham that both make the pattern of this one, but it wasn't marked. So I'm still wondering if it was one of those or not. Okay, I got back to the horse and very disappointed to find that it is completely destroyed. So yeah, that stays on the shelf. I thought this was that brand called Wachtersbach, or however you want to say it, but I always pick it up because it brings good money, but this was not. It was made in China, and Wachtersbach is made in Germany. Now this piece, new in the package, and it was cute. Probably a decent buy because they're selling for about $15 here in April and May, were those results. So I probably could do at least $20 closer to Christmas. I'm pretty blown away by the prices they're asking for fake flowers. I can't even say it. Again, I guess nobody's giving anybody flowers these days because the vase shelves are pretty low in inventory. That, or a lot of people are buying vases to give people flowers. I guess that could go either way. Platters are super hard to ship, so I generally don't pick them up to sell online. I will pick them up to sell locally, like in the antique mall booth, if they're really good. And you'll see me touching. That is because I can judge by feeling it, the quality of the glass, the age sometimes. This piece is a modern piece, but it had kind of a vintage look. But once you pick it up and you feel it, you can tell it's not vintage. Whereas this is actually a vintage piece. Somebody wrote a price tag on there, which always drives me crazy, but I'll be able to magic eraser that off. And it was a nice iridescent, and it's a clamshell, and that should do pretty good. These plates are by Oneida. They are called petals, and that's about what they sell for. Didn't find anything too special in the coffee mugs today, but I'm always looking. These were interesting. They're crackle glass, but I do believe they are a modern version. They just didn't have, again, the feel of the vintage glass. That's why I always encourage you, touch, pick it up, feel it, look at it, look at the pontil marks on the bottom if they have them. These are etched glasses. They're probably from about the 30s, but in singletons, not worth much. This is a piece of EAPG. It is a pattern called Atlantic Cable from the 1880s, but sadly, it just doesn't have a lot of value. Here's a site I use to look up that EAPG. It's eapg.org. And it's cool because you can look it up by what the motif is on it. And here I chose the bands and rings. And boom, there it is. So then I can pull that up and I can see it's Atlantic Cable. And then I can really go do my research. And you can see 3 for sale. So it's there, and it's, anywhere from $5 to $20, which is quite a range. But even at $5, it's not selling, which is kind of sad. This is, 150-year-old glass. It just kind of breaks my heart. None. I spot this granite ware coffee pot, or cowboy coffee pot, some will call it. They generally just don't bring enough money, and they're pretty big, but you can see, you know, $10 to $15. I loved this fish plate. I just loved him, but he's very, very modern. Even then, I still wrestled for a minute, but I ended up throwing him back. Part of this business, and the way to avoid what they call death piles, is be disciplined in what you bring home. This is a nice little piece of Japan. It's got that moriage, which is like a raised, textured feel to it. Noritake has done a lot of this. Noritake in Nippon. This came from someone's antique booth, so I grabbed it. And yes, I scanned the cart, but I didn't dare touch anything unless I was absolutely going to put it in my cart. So I just gave it a glance. Nothing exciting. And no exciting lamps today. I always look in the furniture area. You never know what they're going to stick over there, like this amazing moose lamp. And he is a resin. He's not super old or anything, but he is just really fun. And he was only $5.99. So I will put a shade on him and try him in the Antique Mall booth first before I turn to eBay. He's got a little damage, but it's not bad. Well, I sure do miss the days when I could go into a Goodwill and just fill a cart. Ooh, it is slim pickings. Wow. Got a few things, but not a whole lot. So we are going to call this video complete, but I'm not done shopping. So come back tomorrow and see what I find at the next store that I'm going to. All right, go be profitable. Make it fun. See you on the next one.